Hi guys and welcome back to my channel and episode 3 of Let's Talk About It. This week's episode I'm going to be talking about a subject that is quite dear to my heart, self-love. And first let me start by saying I am not an expert. Every single person is on their own journey of discovering who they are and loving the person that they are. So I hope that with my experiences and with my advice it will help somebody out there, even if it's just one person. I literally make videos for one person, and if I get more than one person, if I get 1,000, if I get 2,000 people watching, I am elated. I am elated if more people watch my videos. But I'm not making it to be famous on YouTube. I'm not making it to make money. I'm not making it to get views. I'm making it because I'm really passionate about these topics and also helping you guys to grow and to find and discover yourselves. So let's get straight into it. Yes. So the greatest commandment given by Jesus is to love God. And the second is like it, he said. He said to love others like you love yourself. So it basically goes like love God, love yourself, and love other people. So for the people that think that it's like ungodly or like egotistical or like selfish to love yourself, Jesus said it himself. How can you love other people if you don't have love for yourself? Like, how can you give out what you don't already possess? And I think that's how a lot of us go wrong in relationships, that go wrong in life, because we're trying to give out of something we don't already have. It's like someone asking me for £50, but I need the £50 myself. I need the £50 myself, but I'm giving someone the thing that I need myself. Do you know what I mean? So for the people that think that loving yourself is ungodly, there's the proof. Jesus said it himself. Having a relationship with yourself is not vanity, it's not egotistical. It's basically the only way to have a really balanced and purposeful and fulfilling life, by loving yourself first, loving who you are. So the problem is most of us don't know who we are because we don't have a relationship with ourselves. More times we're even trying to run away from ourselves because we don't really want to hear what we have to say. So we run and we run and we run. I remember a few years ago, there was a moment in time I was just stressed, I was overwhelmed, and I was just like, I need to get away. I just need to get away. I need to go on holiday. I need to get somewhere. But then I realized that even if I went on holiday, I would still be there. And the person that I'm trying to get away from isn't somebody else. This isn't my circumstance. It's myself. So it's like funny how we always like trying to run from ourselves. We're trying to run from having conversations with ourselves. And the truth is, it's really because the conversations that we do have with ourselves are almost too negative for us to hear. It's like you never stay in the presence of someone that's insulting you. But we insult ourselves so much in our own heads. Like, we'll look in the mirror and be like, oh, you're so ugly, or you're fat, or like, you're bitch, like, sorry, excuse my French, like, just completely insulting ourselves. And it's like, you wouldn't allow someone else to talk to you like that, so why do we talk to ourselves like that? So I watch a lot of thought-provoking videos on YouTube or read books and stuff, just like to get my mind stimulated. That's why I feel like I have a lot of knowledge, because I do read a lot and I watch a lot of videos and know a lot of self-help things, because I'm working on improving me, because I know what I need. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I was watching a video and the guy was basically talking about love and relationships, and he was basically saying everyone's heart's desire is 3 things: to be fully known, to be fully loved, and to be fully accepted. And I thought to myself, that is so powerful and so profound. And I started to apply it to my relationship with God. And I remember repeating to myself, I am fully known, fully loved, and fully accepted by God. I am fully known, fully loved, and fully accepted by God. So you have to tell yourself, I am fully known, I am fully loved, and I am fully accepted by God. Ultimately, that's the most important relationship, your relationship with God. The only way you can love yourself is if you know that God loves you. And I know God loves me, so I'm working on loving myself. So this can be applied to any relationship as well. Ask yourself, if you're in a relationship right now, ask yourself, am I fully known? Am I fully loved? And am I fully accepted? And I feel like that's the only way to really be in a successful relationship, when you know that you are loved unconditionally by your partner, that agape love that is unchanging. You know, they've seen every single thing about you, but they still love you. They know everything there is to know about you, but they love you and they fully accept you. That kind of love is amazing. So for this video, I felt like it was appropriate to apply that same principle to a relationship with yourself. So I'm gonna start by talking about being fully known or seen. Fully known slash fully seen. So the question is, do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you like? Do you know what you will and will not accept? Do you know what you deserve? Do you know what you want to do in life? But even further and even deeper than that, do you know what makes you jealous? Do you know what makes you envious? Do you know what makes you so angry? Do you know what makes you embarrassed? Like, those are the things that are deep within us that we try to hide. And we're even hiding those things from ourselves. So we can't be fully seen or fully known by ourselves because we're always constantly hiding that part. Like, oh no, I'm not jealous. No, I'm not envious. I remember this what I'm talking about right now. I can say now I fully see myself. I fully know myself. The good, the bad, and the damn right ugly. And because I know myself, if someone comes to me and says, Breeny, you're being jealous, I'll be like, yes, I am being jealous because I know myself and I'm not ashamed of it. So I can confess the truth. I can tell the truth because I'm not lying to myself. You're only okay with lying to others when you first lie to yourself. So you have to be able to be fully seen by yourself. Allow all your flaws just to hang out there. Allow your gut to flow. Like, do you know what I mean? That sounds so funny, but it's true. And the best thing about being fully seen is that no one can judge you. No one can use it against you if you've already seen it. If you've already seen it in yourself, if you've already noticed it in yourself, no one can use it against you. And when you have secrets, I believe that's where the devil hides. The devil hides in the things that you don't tell nobody. He basically sits on the things that you don't say. He sits on the secrets that you have. And he will use it against you in your own quiet time. But if you now expose yourself to yourself, no one can expose you. No one has the right. You've taken that away. And I remember watching Kevin Hart interview, and he was basically saying, if I make a joke out of myself, if I cuss my height, no one can cuss him. Like, if you try to say to Kevin Hart you're short or make short jokes, do you think he will be moved in the slightest? He already has made the joke on himself. So you have the last laugh, and it basically disarms them. They have nothing to use against you. So identify with your flaws, allow yourself to be fully seen. And whatever you see, even if it's ugly, don't judge it. Just look at it, just observe it. So I'm reading this book and it's called The Power of Now. And it basically talks about being present in the moment. Or basically it tells you to observe what you're thinking, feeling, but don't judge it. Don't be like, oh, I'm feeling depressed. Don't judge it and say, what are you feeling depressed for? You shouldn't be depressed. Like, don't judge it. It just is what it is. Right now you're feeling depressed. Feel it. Feel the depression. Feel what you're feeling and observe it. By observing it and not judging it, you will actually identify with it. And after you identify with it, it will fall and it will flow away. And you've really just got to come to peace with it, because once you've come to peace with it, that's the only way you can change it. And even in situations like weight loss, allow yourself to be fully naked for yourself. Because if you keep denying it, like, I'm not fat, I don't have a eating problem, I don't have bad eating habits, you can't really change it. So like you would stare at your naked body in the mirror, stare at your naked soul in the mirror. Don't judge it. Just see it for what it is and acknowledge that it's there. So after you fully revealed yourself to yourself, then you can move on to loving yourself. Because ultimately, how can you love yourself if you don't know yourself? And most of the time we're looking outwardly for something that we can only find inwardly. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it's so true. Why are you searching for love when you don't love yourself? How can someone else love you when you don't love you? How is that fair? How do you come into a relationship on a level playing field if you're searching for something that you can't even give yourself? It's like girls, yeah, that's like, oh yeah, my man's got to buy me this car, he's got to give me this, he's got to get me that. But you can't even buy yourself that car. You can't even get yourself that. So why are you putting unneeded pressure on someone else when you can't even do it for yourself? So I came across this quote on Instagram, and I have to read it to you because it's so powerful. And it goes like, I was looking for someone to inspire me, motivate me, support me, keep me focused, someone who would love me, cherish me, make me happy. And I realized that all along I was looking for myself. Jesus. Just so, like, honestly, like, that is so, so powerful, because ultimately we're always searching for someone to do what we're supposed to do for ourselves. Do it yourself. DIY. Do it yourself. And I feel like we go on this journey of self-love like 500 times. Every time we take a different route and we find out different things about ourselves. And I've started this journey of self-love so many times, but I really feel like now is when I'm truly getting it. And now that I'm truly believing how important it is. And I remember I used to think to myself, how can I love myself when I hate who I am? I used to say to myself, God, you need to change me. You need to change me because I don't like this about myself. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I used to list of things that are wrong with me. I used to list them all off, list them all off, list them all off. God, this is wrong with me. Change this. Pray. God, change this. God, change this. God, change this. And I'm like, I can't love myself until God, you change it. So change it. So change it. And I became so obsessed with being perfect and God changing me and changing me and changing me. And I wasn't realizing that God loves me just as I am. He loves me just because, full stop, nothing after that. He loves me because he loves me. That's it. He has unconditional love for me, just as I am. He loved me when I was a sinner. He loves me now that I'm righteous. He loves me when I'm not being righteous. He loves me when I die. Do you know what I mean? It's unconditional love. And because in our world we're so used to conditional love, I'll love you if you do this. I'll love you if you are this. I'll love you if you look like this. The love of our Father is so beautiful because there's no conditions. Can you love yourself without conditions? You'll say to yourself, I'll love myself when I do well in school. I'll love myself when I look like the girl on Instagram. I'll love myself when I get a promotion at work. I'll love myself when blah, 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 blah. Because we do these things because we want to feel like, yes, I earned it. I can love myself now because I earned that love. I'm deserving. I deserve it. No, you don't deserve love, but you're given love anyway. The way you act to your parents sometimes, do you think you deserve them to love you? No, but they choose to love you. It's a choice. It's unconditional. And to fully love yourself is to put no conditions on it. Of course, you want to strive to be better. I am a ridiculous perfectionist. I have a super high standard for every single thing in my life. I sometimes drive myself, well, I used to drive myself crazy because if it wasn't perfect, I didn't want to do it. But can I put aside my ridiculous standards and say, I'm going to love you just because I love you? I love you, Breeny, because I love you. That's it. Even if you don't do well, even if you don't blow up, even if you don't get married, even if you don't, even if I don't, can I still say, I love you? Or do I have to earn my love? Think about it. Can I accept myself? Can I accept all the things that I did wrong when I didn't know what was wrong and what was right? Can I love myself for all the things that I did and didn't do? After you love yourself, you can accept everything about yourself, even the things you don't like. You have more grace, more patience, and more kindness towards yourself. And for me, to accept yourself is to own everything. Own it. You've heard this term so many times. Own it. Own what you did and didn't do. Own who you are and who you couldn't be. To accept yourself is to own everything and take responsibilities for your actions. If you did it, own it. Own up to it. If you let your guard down and let someone take advantage of you, own that. If you got married and your marriage didn't work out and you ended up getting divorced, own that. Be the proudest divorced woman there is. There's no need to shame yourself. There's no need to be walking around with shame. If you had an abortion, own it. And it's not saying it's right or wrong. It's just saying I did it, and say I. Because most time we're talking about ourselves. We're talking about ourselves or what we did in third person. But say I. Say I did it. I made the wrong decision. What I did was wrong. So I want to talk about self-image and loving the image that you see in the mirror. Because everybody struggles with this sometime or another, whether they overcame it or whether they're struggling with it now. Since social media has boomed and highlighted every single thing that's wrong with us, we have the tendency to be insecure. And that's okay. Own it. Don't let anyone make you feel bad about feeling insecure, because they're pointing at your insecurities. They have something that they're also insecure about as well, that they're trying to hide. And they feel like by exposing your insecurities is going to hide their own. But they are very, very wrong. We all have insecurities. We all have some things that we wish we could change. But if you can't change it, just be proud. And Maya Angelou that says something powerful that everyone must have heard, and it's, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, then change your attitude. If I'm ugly, I'm gonna be the proudest ugly person you have ever seen in your life. I'm gonna be ugly and proud. If I'm gonna be dark, I'm gonna be dark and proud. If I have a big Greek or black or Jewish nose, I'm gonna be proud. I'm going to be proud and I'm gonna celebrate it. Have you ever seen those people, yeah, that you may feel like they're not that pretty, but they have so much confidence, and even all the guys like them, and you're like, how did she get him? It's only because she owns her flaws. She owns every single thing that's wrong about her. She can see it. She doesn't need you telling her she's ugly, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't need you to tell her that, because she knows and she's proud. She's proud of it. She's proud of every single inch of herself. And guys like that, people like that, that kind of energy is so attractive. Being proud of who you are, owning your flaws, owning your insecurity. Whatever your insecurity is, be proud of it. Just change your attitude. Be like, I am, and I'm proud. You can't tell me nothing.
You ain't got the answers, Sway. You ain't got the answers.
And you've got to accept yourself, because there's only one of you. There can only be one, and that's you. I want to read another quote because it's so simple but so beautiful. And I think it's more powerful when you see it written. It's very simple. It says, no one is you, and that is your power. The power is that nobody is like you. There never has been, there never will be another you. So own the fact that you are flawed, but you are flawless, because you're perfect, because you're you. Own that.
Own that shit. Own it.
So to conclude, fully seen, fully loved, and fully accepted. And once you're confident in who you are, my friend said to me the other day, this girl is so self-assured. And do you know why? Because I own everything. I own it. If I'm feeling some type of way about a situation, I'm owning it. Even if necessary, I will confess how I'm feeling towards that person. I remember there was a time that I was jealous. I was jealous of a friend, and I told her I'm jealous. I don't know how to change it. I don't know what I can do about it, but I'm jealous, and I'm jealous of you. And I owned it. I owned it. So no one can be like, Breeny's jealous. Yes, I am. I told her. I even told you I was jealous. Yes, I owned it. Now, because I owned it, I'm free. So once you've fully taken grasp and loved yourself, accepted yourself, and seen yourself, that's when you build the confidence to raise and establish your standards. So there's some things that I just will not tolerate, because I love me. I respect me. I respect myself so much that I ain't gonna tolerate it. I'm not gonna do it.
I ain't gonna do it. Do it for the man. I ain't gonna do it. Do it for YouTube. I ain't gonna do it. Do it for the man. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
I ain't going to tolerate some things. And because of our vulnerability, and because we don't love ourselves, and because of our insecurities, we get into relationships, or we get into friendships where people are just abusing us. They are so abusive. And I love to study people. I wish I did psychology in university, but I love studying people and I love listening to people's stories because I literally psychoanalyze everything. And most of the stories that I kind of listen to and I kind of hear from people, the root cause is that you do not love yourself, you do not value yourself, and you do not cherish yourself. So anything that will come your way, you take it. And you'll tolerate everything. There's some things you girls are tolerating right now that makes me so angry. I was watching Love and Hip Hop and I was listening to Tara and Amina fight each other. They're fighting each other. And the man is sitting there disrespecting them and taking no responsibilities for his actions. Yeah, I'm gonna go and get the snip. No, own it. Own your wrongs, Peter. Own the fact that you are a broken person. Own the fact that you had a messed up childhood that has made you this person that wants to have your cake and eat it and ruin the lives of the women that you claim to love. No way. But I'm not even talking to the man because he's gonna do what the woman allows him to do. I'm talking to Tara and I'm talking to Amina. Amina, just because you had his last child does not guarantee anything. And Tara, I feel bad for Tara. I feel bad about what she went through. She was the main chick for 10 years, 10 plus years. Your person that you've been seeing, you didn't get a ring. But he goes and gets a side chick and marries a side chick. I understand why you're hurt. I understand why you're revengeful. But your hurt is aimed at the wrong person. Your hurt should be aimed at yourself first and foremost. Then your hurt should be aimed at the man that disrespected you. But you must own the fact that you allowed yourself to be disrespected. And we live in a culture of we just literally distribute the blame. We don't look in the mirror. We don't see our part in the puzzle. We blame this person. It's time to own it. If you're watching this and you're listening to me and this is actually sinking in, it's time to own it. It's time to own it. No shame. Don't judge it. Own it. Yes, I did it. I did it. And there's no one to blame. You don't even have to blame yourself because if you blame yourself, you're judging yourself. But you don't even have to blame anyone. Say it is what it is. If I knew better, I would have done better. But now that I know better, I'm not going to rate my understanding. I'm not going to rate myself by knowing better and not doing better. So I'm going to finish this self-love talk here before I get worked up because it's a subject I'm so passionate about. And you young girls, know your value, know your worth. Know that you are a queen. Know that you are a queen and wear your invisible crown every single day. I always say this, keep your head up because if you put your head down, your crown is going to fall. Until next week Sunday, guys, I love you so much. My next video is going to be talking about purpose. I'm going to write purpose on a comment. Leave your comments under that same purpose title so it's easy for me to read over when I'm looking through the comments, okay? So I love you guys and I'll see you next week. Mwah. Woo! That was intense.